Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm going to switch to my AirPods. And as people are joining,
for joining me today. All of what we're going to talk about today is about how to change your life, how to approach any issue, how to use mind and body. And I have a belief model for that, which I learned in life coach school. Nurses, and even myself, I have an advocation energy or the archetype of advocate. I want to help you to use your best tool, which is your brain, the desire to help and stand up for the best parts of you when might not be able to see them. That's my work in the world for nurses and for humans, for myself. So good morning. You might be feeling powerless in some areas of your life, defensive or a martyr, or you might be feeling completely joyous in other areas of your life. This model will help you become aware of deep and not so deep beliefs that may or may not be serving you. And I just want to share this with you. I'm all about helping nurses thrive in their work by undoing learned patterns of thinking and feeling so that you can be be the best in your life and work. As you're coming in, thanks for being here. There's no silly worries or questions. Hopefully this is going to bring up thought for you. And your brain is so powerful. It thinks what it has practiced thinking. And it's not bad. It's just running the same program. The thinking process is one that can be noticed, observed, and mentored in ourselves. Maybe you can consider these options. Which one sounds like you? Are you a heavy thinker, a worrier, a high achiever, or a combo of all of these? Do you like to procrastinate? Or I shouldn't say like, do you procrastinate? Procrastination isn't always bad, by the way. Are you a perfectionist? Do you have imposter syndrome, self-loathing? Are you people pleasing? Or do you have a lot of self-judgment? All of these things that we all experience as humans are all there, and all while caregiving to patients and families. And you all do such incredible, incredible things. So thank you. Thank you. The first thing I want you to notice is that none of this is to change what you've done or the impact you've made in the world. It's just to help you solve any problem for yourself. All of this is heady stuff. And this stuff in our head, our thoughts, the way our brain operates, is also a partner to our body or to our energy or to our frequency or our vibration, whatever you like to call that. And maybe you haven't thought of that before. Like what your body feels is related to what your mind is thinking, and vice versa. We want to help them meet each other, to partner with each other. Deeply rooted feelings or the energy of your life can be trapped, and sometimes from old beliefs that are deeply rooted. And sometimes we give those deeply rooted beliefs that don't serve us as much in the forefront of our lives. We have that energy in our body. And so we're just looking today to intentionally unbind some of those. And I guess we're not intentionally going to unbind them today. We're going to start thinking. This is a foundation one workshop where we're just bringing awareness to how this belief model works. And so we will get to intentionally unbinding, and you can do that anytime. Breath work or music or movement that can help you unbind. And that's what I work with my clients on. So if you're thinking about taking a deeper dive, I do 6 weeks of one-to-one coaching with people. And we do unbind. We do unbind the mind and the body. This is a daily practice. So the way to do this, the way we start all of this, where you can start it today, where you can change your whole weekend, it's so simple. It's just asking ourselves good questions about what is going on for us and using this model. We can't undo what happened yesterday. We can only be aware of what we're thinking about today. We can only be aware of what we're thinking about the past. So go ahead and ask yourself, what is the reason you want to engage with this tool or be in this workshop today? What do you want to walk away with? What are you trying to change? We can't change the past. We can thank ourselves, which is effing hard sometimes. We can thank ourselves for all the good things that we bring to our life. We tend to spend more time thinking about what we didn't do, but we've done so many great things. We are not able to change our past. We can change how we create our future and remember our past. We don't need to dig it up. We don't need to try to change or shame the past. We simply want to be aware of our ticker tape or deep beliefs. Ticker tapes are the ones we have in the front of our mind every day, like the easy ones that come up when something happens, like, oh, I'm just not good at this. The things we say off the top of our heads, like, oh, I'm just not good at that. One for me is I'm just not great with social media. That's a ticker tape belief that I run every day. And a deeper one, I mean, I have a lot of deeply rooted beliefs, and a lot of them I've done work on. One deeply rooted belief for me was that I am great with money. And I had to build that because I didn't grow up thinking I was great with money. Money is hard to come by. Another one for me is I'm an associate degree nurse. Or I am only an associate degree nurse. How about that? So those are some of ticker tape beliefs that show up for me in more deeply rooted beliefs. So I'm just going to take 15 seconds. And I'm going to let you write down a ticker tape belief and a deeply rooted belief. A belief is a thought we continue to have. So I'm going to take that 15 seconds now for you. Great. So thanks for having a pen and paper. Thanks for writing those down. And the questions we want to ask about those are, why do I choose to think this now? That is a choice. So can you write that question down? Why do I choose to think this now? Is this a thought I want to keep? Can I stop reacting to the feelings because I'm willing to feel any feeling? Can I change what my brain is focusing on now? We can use all of this information to create our future. I'll be honest, most of us are experiencing pain and struggle because of the thought that we think about ourselves. When we try to change things outside of us to change the pain and struggle, we exhaust ourselves. We do not have to identify with the ticker tape beliefs or the deeply rooted beliefs. We can start to release those with the help of good questions that I just gave you and unbinding in our body. January is decision month at Andrea Romer Coaching. And that is the heady part of this model, the thinking part. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And we'll be talking about emotionally unbinding as we go. We're going to touch on it a little bit today when we talk about feelings, but not much, because this is going to be short and sweet about this model. Because I bet you're all doing some of this work already. Now, we do not weaponize this. This is not a way for you to notice your deeply rooted beliefs and belittle yourself, shame yourself, regret, or say bad things. I do not offer this to you so that you can weaponize it. That is absolutely not the goal. I'm just going to give you now a rundown of the model, some examples. I gave you the questions. I'm going to break down the pieces You can work it backwards or forwards. And I just want you to have some fun with it. Like, to change your weekend, you just get to make some decisions about what you think about weekends, or about your work shift, or about your family, about house cleaning, about the things you have to do. So I'm going to share my screen, and the first thing I'm going to share is this model. But let me go down to, I'm going to toggle back and forth. This is the belief model. This was taught to me and created by Brooke Castillo, and I have permission to share. She was my life coach teacher. I became certified with her school. So this is how the model works. If you put your email in the chat, or if we talk after I'm done with sharing this information, I will send you this, and giving me your email will also give me permission to get you on my weekly article rotation that comes in email. So this is the belief model. So the pieces are circumstance, thought, feeling, action, and result. CTFAR. So now, whoops, I'm going to show you how we can fill it out. So circumstance is a factual data point, something that we cannot control that has happened in the world. It could be proven. We abbreviate that with a C, and sometimes it can be some word somebody says. Then we have a thought, an optional sentence in one mind about a circumstance. And this is also called a belief, a sentence. It's abbreviated with the letter T. It always comes second. We always have thoughts about things we can't control happening in the world. Some things we can control, some things we can't. We can control how we show up, how we have our model. A feeling is next. A feeling is a vibration in the body that is created when we have a thought, and it fuels all our action or inaction. So we oftentimes think that how we're feeling creates how we're thinking and making decisions in the world, but really how we're reacting with our thinking to the things that happen in the world or the circumstances, what creates our feeling. Abbreviated with the letter F. And then action can be action or inaction, something that you do that creates a result and is driven by a feeling. Abbreviated with the letter A, of course. Result, the effect of our actions or inactions, and it's always the evidence of our original thought. CTFAR. They stay in that order, but you can plug and play what you need. Maybe you have a feeling. Maybe the feeling is anxiety, or maybe you just have an action, like called someone, or didn't do this, or forgot to do this, or whatever. Or maybe you have the thought. For me, the thought that came up for me this morning is, I suck. I'm just going to be honest. And I have to remember that my brain runs that automatically. And so I get to ask myself a question like, is this serving me, and is this true? How is this not true? How do I not? So anyway, that just, or one thing that comes whenever I'm going to work, I know I think I make an impact, and that's what keeps me doing my work. I also value work. So anyway, you can, or maybe it's a circumstance that's happening in the world, you know. Maybe the circumstance is somebody in your family is sick. Or maybe the circumstance is you got a raise. All the things. You can plug and play and see what you want to do. So common mistakes, putting a thought in the circumstance line. So we often think that our thoughts are true. So pardon me, I'm going to grab this. Let's just play around a little bit with that. So the fun thing is, oh my gosh, I totally lost my thing. I totally lost it. Let's see. We're just gonna do a little quiz. Maybe if I can find it. How did I lose my quiz? Geez almighty, bear with me here. Bear with me. Well, I totally lost my thing. So bear with me for 1 second. This just gives you a minute to think about what we've talked about. I'm like, oh, I have this all ready to go. But aha, I think I may have found it. No, it sure didn't. Found it. Thanks for bearing with me. I so appreciate you for that. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to just give you a couple things and you can think about whether these are thoughts or circumstances. She doesn't like me. That is a thought that we sometimes think is a circumstance. The only way that could be a circumstance is if a person, and I use quotes and we can quote, says, I don't like you. I feel stupid. That is a thought, an observation. And when you are thinking, I feel stupid, that's an observation that causes a feeling. Usually, for me, that's shame and it keeps me quiet. It keeps me not noticing where I'm actually smart. I am mad at him. We also sometimes think that's a circumstance, like that is truth. That is a thought. I am mad at him. The circumstance is he did something that we could prove, like he drove my car when I said not to, blah, 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 blah. I am 50 years old. Hey, that's a circumstance. It's a fact that could be proven. She gives me the creeps. We often say that as if it's a truth, a circumstance, but it's our thinking. And this is okay. None of this is judgment. I overeat. Again, that is our thinking. It is not a circumstance. A circumstance would be I ate 6 cupcakes and 4 donuts and 7 pieces of bacon. I overspend. Again, thinking. And oftentimes we say those sentences over and over because we believe it to be true about ourselves because our brain has been running that knowledge for so long. I overspend. Really, we can just say, I spent blah, blah, blah. So I think you get the gist of that. So putting a question in the thought line. Always answer the question, use the answer as the T, as the thought. Only one feeling per model. So if you have 2 feelings, so if you're happy and uncomfortable, 2 models. This model can be used for any circumstances. The letters stay in this order. Initially, we begin to think, I create me thought. We can, but first we want to just bring awareness to how our mind is working. So I don't want to take up much more of your time, but I did want to, let's see. I do think I have this brought up. Okay, so here are some models to look at. 62 degrees. When I go to Florida, my family down there thinks this is cold. I don't know how they're feeling about it. I just want to use it as an example. They wear boots, a winter coat, stay inside and change their plans. I mean, they utilize their winter clothes, their winter mindset. I think 62 degrees, this is warm. I feel fun and I wear shorts, have fun outside, make plans, rest, relax. I wear my summer wardrobe and summer attitude. So here is a nursing model for one that I was using a lot right post-COVID when visitation opened again. Say that as a circumstance because there had been no visitors. So it was true that the hospital allowed visitors. Here's what I was thinking. They will again run the show. I felt resentment. I did not put myself in their shoes. I complained about them. I did not give info out easily. I judged them. I acted distant, and I gave myself rules, gave them rules. And the result was that they did run my whole show. They will again run the whole show. Remember, I said that thought shows up in the result line, and by my actions, they sure did. I just let them have all of my mind and all of my practice. So they visit me and their loved ones. I said that LOL like all day long. Even if they weren't there, I was still like, when are they coming? Why are they here? None of it had anything to do with me. And I'm just noticing what I was going through in those moments and just had so much compassion for that. But it gave me a way to say, oh, when I'm feeling resentment, here's where I want to go with this. It, again, is not a weapon. So here's one about relationships. Like, this kitchen sure is a mess. Words my husband said to me. I thought, you are a jerk. I felt irritated. I snapped back at him. I figured out, I then started thinking like, how do I get this done? How do I get this kitchen cleaned up? I let my self-worth go. I raised my voice. I blamed. And then I acted like a jerk. So it's funny because those words just set me off. And there's another model there, like mostly I believe it was my job to keep the kitchen clean when really he was just saying words. He was just observing something and I took it because I believe that it's supposed to be my job. Anyway, that's how we can just kind of see how this plays out. The next one is about time. Work 3 shifts per week, 2 kids, live at home. That was my life. And I used to think there is no time. I completely felt urgent. I would create a huge list, engage in no self-care, do more work at work, do unfocused activities, did not set goals, and was doing everything. And my time is not there. There is no time. And my time was never there. So I was like, when's it going to be my time? This one, I wanted to just kind of give a random, like $40,000 of credit card debt, thinking I am in debt, having shame. That makes me not look for solutions, ask for help, avoid feelings, engage in spending behaviors that prove you have money. You are in debt of yourself. So then you totally lose yourself and live in self-debt, not even self-doubt, self-debt, debt of self. You just can't prove your way out of this. Last one, sorry, it's so big, copied it over. Like you have everything out of your closet to paint it. All the clothes, all the shoes, your husband's clothes, everything. I should get this done. You have all the closet in the room, but you have to go to work. I say have to because you're scheduled to work. You decide you're going to work. I should get this done. You feel obligation, you rush, you let other stuff go, you worry about it, but what a bad person you are. You do not get done what was a priority. Or at least you think about being a bad person because you're not finishing it. What if the stuff can just stay in the room? You're not a bad person. I should get this done. That drives you thinking about that, using mind time when you're at work or going to do something else. It just doesn't matter. You can just let it go. Whenever we're feeling obligation, we want to notice that. So hopefully these examples have been helpful. I really appreciate all of you coming, and I don't want to take up more of your time. I like videos to be short, and I so appreciate all of you. Remember, we don't weaponize this, and you can certainly reach out to me to get this template, and I will get your emails at the end. Thank you so much.